besties, it's Kay here. Today we're gonna be taking a closer look about the Wild at Heart game and thinking how beginner friendly it is. And for those who are new on this channel is dedicated to the beginner friendly games because, spoiler, I am still a beginner and we're slowly making our way up from games like Animal Crossing or very simple games to the more complicated gaming world creations. And today we're gonna be taking a closer look at this. Wild at Heart is an adventure game that has been released, I think, in 2021, and it is an indie game that is based on a plot of basically going around and collecting things. It is kind of, I think, inspired as many games by Zelda because it follows the same route where, or let's say Zelda Link's Awakening, where you really just go around and collect stuff and fight mini bosses and solve different puzzles. I think that Zelda has given away to many indie games and has given inspiration. It also has reminded me, funnily, another game, which is Eastward. The games are very similar, basically how it came out to be is my boyfriend is playing Eastward and I'm playing this one, The Wild at Heart, and just the gameplay, just the whole things that you do in the game, through the gameplay you have to cook things to get more power, you have to solve the puzzles, you have multiple characters where you switch through them. This is very similar, and the whole atmosphere, here is the post-apocalyptical world, so to say, and here is just a sci-fi forest where you, a fantastic forest where you meet different creatures. Anyway, they give a very similar vibes, and it was amazing because Eastward is one of the canon cozy games, meaning this is definitely a new favorite in the list of cozy games of mine. As I mentioned, you're playing for Wade, the main character, who kind of leaves his house because he has a father who doesn't care about him, and he escapes into the forest and happens to appear in the other reality where he has to fulfill different quests and meet different character in the game. All of this happens in a very rainy, dark, gloomy, but still very cozy atmosphere. The sounds, and I always give a special attention to the sounds because I think it's a very important part, are just amazing. The whole game gives you an atmosphere of a fall evening when it's warm, but it's still it's still the beginning from fall to the beginning of winter, when the nights are getting a little bit colder and the air is getting a little bit more crispy with every night. This is the game. If you're getting a physical copy, you will be getting the game card, of course, and you're also getting a small art book, which is very cute, and you get some stickers with you, which is just amazing. I think I'm gonna put them on my notepad where I plan my videos to remind me every time of the game that I like so much. Personally, I'm a big fan of physical games because it's not only a big input into the gaming community, but it's also an input into your collection. I like to take all of my games and to just go through them and remember what I was doing when I got it, or maybe it was a present who gave it to me, and it just gives a very special touch to any game I play. To the moment of this video, the price of this game was around 25 euros or 25 bucks for various markets, and if you will ask me if it's worth it, it is definitely worth it. For this money you get an amazing atmosphere and you get around 15 to 20 hours of gameplay if you are a experienced gamer. In my case, it's much more. I think I'm not done yet, but I think it would be around 40 to 60 hours in my case. Now to the question if the game is really beginner friendly. Yes, I would definitely say that the Wild at Heart is beginner friendly. The controllers are super easy. Everything is not as self-explanatory as in many games, but still you learn by doing. It's not as overwhelming, for example, as in Yonder, the Cloud Catcher. It's not as easy and self-explanatory as in Animal Crossing, but it's a good step if you want to check out the indie game zones, because The indie games are always a very cozy niche. Like, they are always very like retro, or they always pay special attention to sounds, to soundtrack, and to things that are not maybe not as vivid in the casual games, like the big games as Mario or stuff like this. I mean, I think it's silly to compare indie games and like big shards of gaming business, but still, if you want to check out the indie gaming niche, then this is a very great start, because as a beginner you will not be completely lost in it, and because your character is not so active in the game. Basically, you act with the help of spruits. Those are little spirits that you collect through the portals and just everywhere on the territory. Because you act through them and you use their power, you don't really use your character to fight bosses, which is super important for me because I still suck at bosses. There will be a day when I will be really good at it, but the day has not yet come. It's okay. It's gonna be there at some point. Anyway, because you don't really have to face a boss, it's not that demotivating and it's a good start. So I think after I mastered this one, for example, I can try myself in Eastward. The puzzles, and the game consists of many puzzles, are not yet that complicated. They are not too easy to solve, you know, when you start a game and you're like, okay, I'm bored because I can solve everything. This is not that kind of a game, and they progress with your progress, basically. So the further in the game you are, the more complicated the puzzles are gonna be. So you're not going to be too frustrated from the very early steps. You have different times of the year in this game. You have fall and you have winter, which is a pure recipe for coziness. It just calls you by, oh yeah, come on, just take your blanket, take your pillows, put on this game and relax. It is so beautiful. I cannot describe it to you. This is the most beautiful game I think I have seen so far and I have played so far. I think it depicts fall and winter very good. When I was a kid, this is exactly how I imagined my adventures, and since you were playing for a kid, I think it's a very good strategy to describe it like this. You're gonna meet different characters and creatures in the game, and the most important part, you're gonna see the cats. You're gonna collect the cats. This is adorable. I mean, look at these. There are cats in this game. This is adorable. I cannot wait to have them, and I cannot wait to progress in this game. A couple of more words dedicated to the soundtrack of this game. It's made to relax you. When you play the forest part, you hear the birds chirping and the slow music playing, and it is so relaxing, and it is so easy and good to focus yourself and to just get lost in this magical world of the Wild at Heart. I recommend it to everyone who is liking the very natural but also soft soundtrack, because for example a lot of indie games have the like retro wave soundtrack, which is great. It's very great for some atmospheres. For example, it's a very perfect part in the Eastward, but in this case this is something special. This is very natural and it is very calming and it is very relaxing and it is very, yes again, cozy. Another issue that the beginner gamers usually face is getting bored with a game after 2 hours of gameplay. This has happened to me with many games, but this has not been the case of the Wild at Heart. I still enjoy the game, and for example I haven't played it a week because I had a lot of errands to do, but coming back was like coming back home, was like coming to your childhood world. And it feels amazing, and I know that I'm gonna be playing this game a lot in the future. So, if you are still thinking whether you should get this game if you're a beginner or if you're a pro and hoping to get your friend or maybe partner into the beginner level and into the cozy gaming and gaming in general, yes, it is worth it. It is a very nice present that will give a person a very ready ticket into the cozy world and into the world of these cute magical creatures and forest and snow and everything. It is definitely worth it, and it's definitely worth trying. Thank you for being here with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a like and thumbs up and follow. And if you already have the Wild at Heart, please make sure to write a comment and say why you like this game, or maybe why you do not like this game. If you're a beginner who is just starting this game, make sure to let me know what you think about it and whether your thoughts are matching mine, because I love this game. See you in the next videos. Bye babes!